This is episode 13 of the Morebegsden. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 13. And you know, like, they say like 13 is sometimes an unlucky number. That's what they say. But it's a lucky number because today we have Jim Crickard, the amazing, inspiring, good friend of mine. Jim, how are you doing today? Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Delighted to be on.
Yeah.
You have me, we're on the floor. I'm on a sexy white rug, feeling like a woman waiting for the man to come home.
You feel like a queen.
A queen on the floor.
On a cushiony white yoga mat.
Exactly. Yes, it's like the bear rugs.
Are you comfy?
Very comfy.
Beautiful butterfly pose as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. But like, welcome to the show, man. And
Thank
how are
you.
you keeping? How are you today?
I'm good. I had a lovely drive to stay with
Yeah.
you. And we were talking about all kinds of interesting things like druids and poetry, and you know, it was good.
It's a kind of like when you're driving, you're kind of focused on ahead. It's like you're talking to yourself. Do you ever realize that when you're driving? It's like when you have someone in the car with you and you're talking to them and you're totally focused on the road, but you're talking away, and you know, like it's like you're talking to a voice in your head, but it's not a voice in your head. It's the person next to you.
I know exactly
It's
what
like
you mean.
something kind of hypnotic. Do you know how to describe that sort of thing?
It's like you go into a capsule and
Yeah.
you just, you know, you're suspended for the journey, and you know, you're taking in all of the sights around you, and you're talking to each other, kind of like, you know, those sensory deprivation tanks.
Oh yeah.
You know, I've never done one, but something like that. Like you go into it, and you're just talking, and then you come out of it and you're like, oh, I'm me again. Yeah, I think it's a bit like you suspend yourself for that journey, and then you step out of the car and back to normal life again.
You're like, it's like a hypnotic trance,
Mm.
and you can just come up with great things. You can figure out a lot of things as well. What were we talking about in the journey up? I felt like we discussed a lot. You told me about your background and everything. You know, actually, on that topic, tell me a little bit about yourself, man. Like, where you come from?
Well, I come from Kerry. I think anyone who knows me knows that. It's one of my poems about being from Kerry. And
It's a great place.
it is a great place. Yeah, so I grew up in North Kerry, outside Tralee, and moved to Cork in 2010. And I think I always like had a part of me writing in the side. Like I was writing journals when I was a teenager, loved poetry in the Leaving Cert,
Mm.
and then I started writing poetry, and you know, I did that privately for a good number of years. In my diary at the end, it was kind of a way to, whatever my journal entry was, I would do a poem or a picture at the end, and I found such kind of catharsis in creativity and writing. Then I went online on a website called All Poetry.
Oh yes, I remember
Do you-
that website. I think
Yeah.
it's still there. Go
I
on.
think it's still there too. And on there I was kind of submitting kind of into these little competitions, and just like writing prompts, and then the person who published the challenge will pick the winner. There wasn't, you know,
Oh.
it wasn't that competitive, but it was just a nice community.
Sounds very social.
It was, yeah. Yeah.
Do you still go on there?
No, not in a good few years.
But was it like very like it was give you like intention, support to actually sit down and give this a go, give this challenge a go and write. You know, they give this writing challenge and you know, you say, "Oh, I'm going to do that now." Did you find that very helpful?
I thought it was really helpful from that perspective of like, you know, when you're hungry to write, but you just need prompts to work with.
Yeah.
And
I love that phrase, hungry to write.
yeah.
What's that like? A hunger to write?
Oh, I suppose it's kind of like you've got so much to express, and you know you want to create beauty and create something that's resonant for other people. It's hard to describe hungry to write, you know.
Yeah. Like we all have a lot inside us and we need something to trigger to get that out of us. And that can be sometimes a prompt or a challenge. What sort of challenges were in old poetry? Do you remember anything that you...
Yeah, there was various ones. Like one was about writing about a romantic seaside moment, and I think I came second in that one.
Very good. I want to hear that one. Romantic. Was it true?
So I was talking to a guy online from Plenty of Fish, and I think we actually did meet in person twice, but when I wrote that poem I hadn't, and it was as good as, I don't know, it was imagining being on the beach with him, and of course he loved it. So,
and that was the poem.
Yeah.
That was the poem, and you came second.
Came second.
And that's when you knew that I'm going to be a poet.
I think so. I think like these little wins spur you on for sure.
Jokes is like, yes, definitely, because like you're getting feedback that you know you there's something, you know, I can be good at this, you know, yeah, and from that, like, you know, going from like old poetry, doing those little challenges, when did you start getting out there with your poems? When did you start going, let's take this offline now? You know, had a bit of a feedback that I'm actually can do this. When did you decide to actually, now where you are right now with doing poetry gigs and writing and submitting to zines and magazines, it's like that? How did it progress from there?
So from doing it online and just, I think I actually, to be honest, I had a therapy session, and I was like, I think I was 22 or 23 or something, and she was like, "Have you ever heard of Ovale? There's a poetry night called Ovale where they do, you know, open mics and stuff like that." And I hadn't, and then I looked it up and I went along and found the most lovely community, and it was like that. The speaking in public for the first time, I could feel like my heart pumping, and I could, you know, hearing my voice in the speakers. It was quite kind of nerve-wracking, but then afterwards, people came up to me with such warm feedback.
Yeah.
And you know, I guess that's what took the leap from.
You got the bug. That's what they say. They got the bug.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first time in Ovale? You went up to the microphone. Do you remember the poem you said and such?
You know, it actually might have been that poem I was just talking about.
About Kerry?
No, about the guy, the beachside romance.
Oh, was it the beachside romance one? No way.
So, I think so.
No way.
Yeah, I think it might have been that one. That's 2011 or 2012 or something. It's a long time ago now.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And we became I remember we sat next to each other for the 5-word challenge. I think that's when we became friends.
Yeah.
I think so. I remember there's actually a picture of us, the two of us, on that day, sitting next to each other. I do remember because of that picture. Mostly that's why I remember it, because I see that picture. I think that's the first time we hung out and just had a chat. You know, I think we were having a chat about strangers, and you said when you meet people the first time, you always feel nervous. But I'm the opposite. I always feel confident with strangers because they have no impression on you. So you can make a good impression, you know? So that's why I always find, and I remember that was our first conversation.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
But Ovale is a great, great community to meet other writers, you know? And from there, like, you know, what happened since then? Like, you know, you did very well with the 5 word challenges.
Yeah, they were my baby for a little while. When Ovale was weekly, I think
Yeah.
I got my practice up a lot more, and I was winning them more frequently. And
Maybe let's describe what the 5 word challenges are for in case our audiences don't know.
yeah, it's well, I think more broadly it's known as the McNamara Slam, but we call it the 5 word challenge, where you, the audience, gives 5 words to the MC, and then the room has 15 minutes to write a poem, and using those 5 words, of course, and the poem with the best reaction wins.
Yeah, it's a nice little like writing challenge at the start where people can warm up to their creativity, and it's a great way to start because the room is in silence of people writing most of the time, and it's so good to see just an event where people just sit and write with having that. I think it's very unique actually.
It's so funny when someone arrives and it's in the middle of the 5 word challenge and they enter the room and everyone is silent.
I did see some people go in and they find us silent and they just walk back out.
What kind of weird situation is this?
Who are all these poets? They're definitely poets. I thought they were a guest. I thought there'd be an open mic. But how many 5 word challenge competitions have you won?
I don't know, to be honest. Maybe 10 of them or something.
Is that a record? Is that still the record?
I don't know. I think Catherine Ronan might be.
Ooh.
She might have beat me.
I don't know yet. She's very close to it.
And Rab has been doing it for a long time and he won a lot of them.
He has. But I say, Jim, you're definitely up there. If not, you're actually the person at the top. You did have a record like back-to-back nights.
Yeah.
What was that like for you to have that winning streak?
Okay, that was fierce. Like, I love that.
Fierce.
Fierce. Like, I felt like, you know, I just mentioned a little while ago the little wins. Like, I think when I was winning them, I was feeling like, okay, if I can make a room of 20 or 30 people kind of respond in this way, what's stopping me doing more than that, you know?
Wow. Okay, so what you mean? What's stopping you from doing more? Do you mean like what way were they reacting to your poetry?
You know, laughter, or afterwards telling me I really enjoyed that, or I don't normally like poetry, but I liked that. You know, it's that kind of
that too. That's nice.
response. You know, that's means an awful lot. And you know, if you're able to do it in this room, you can do it in another room, and you know, there's hope for it.
That is class. Hope for you, like hope for your work and hope for your craft.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. And like that, what did you feel under pressure then as time went on, saying, do I have to keep doing this? You know, like it's great to win, but sometimes, you know, when you miss out on the win, how do you take that then? You know, that's also part of the art, is the rejection. How did you cope with that, or did you work out any methods of doing that?
I mean, I think
it's a bit of a challenging question, I know.
No, it's a good question, and it's an important part, I think, of being an artist, because the momentum, no one is going to have the momentum of success from the beginning, right, and no failure, you know. I suppose it wouldn't worry me that much. I kind of just think, okay, it's not my night tonight, someone else has got it. And I'd be happy for them. Unless I felt really strongly about my poem, and then I would think I was robbed.
I bet you there was some nights like that.
Oh yeah.
Scandalous.
How dare they?
It's politics now. It's politics got into it.
Corruption.
The corruption in the Ovales. They had to take a few claps off going, you know what Jim's going to be. In the end, he's got a few friends now. And but then from that, then you had a few shows as well, and you got like. Do you remember your first show? Like, you know, like going up at the open mic and the 5 words is certainly very different to having you becoming a guest, you know? So, do you remember your first show, and how did that feel different from a 5-word challenge or open mic?
So my first show was actually through Ciarán McCartan. He had the crossover, and it was an event he was doing with multidisciplinary kind of artists. Julie Goo, Stan Knott, I think some musicians were kind of involved. And when he invited me to read some work as a poet to perform as part of that, I was like so touched, because it was, you know, someone asking me was putting me on the lineup, I suppose. And that meant an awful lot. And I started to think, okay, maybe I can build a kind of a series of credits through that. And I think then after that, there was the Winter Warmer. I was asked to perform at that.
Oh, the closed mic?
The closed mic, yes.
Class.
Yeah, and you know, these are kind of at the time they meant so much to me, and I think just from there you kind of get more exposure. And I think after that, then I went to I went to Galway for the Cuirt Spoken Word Slam.
Congratulations! The slam, yes.
The slam,
wow.
Yes.
Was that your first introduction to slam?
I think I had done a Munster slam maybe before that.
Okay.
But hadn't.
I interrupted you. Continue.
But yeah, so it was the slam. I went up with Benjamin Burns and Shauna Lee Lynch.
2 other great poets.
Absolutely.
Continue.
So we travelled up, and I ended up winning that slam, which was like
well now, Jim.
Phenomenal.
Well done.
And I drank a good few pints to kind of get the courage. And no, it was one of the strongest performances I think I've ever done. And
why do you say that?
There was an electricity to it. Like I felt like the room, the audience was kind of one big organism, and I felt like I sent a volt through the whole thing, and I couldn't really see anyone because of the lighting. It was quite bright up there.
Interesting.
But the laughter and the kind of ripples of responses, and like there's kind of some touching parts in the poem I did. It was the one about coming out as gay, and it was just powerful. And that winning that got me a slot at Electric Picnic.
Wow.
So that was huge for me. Yeah.
And what was it like going to Electric Picnic as a guest?
Fabulous on paper. Really fabulous on paper. But in reality, I had to travel up on my own on the bus.
Oh, yeah.
With a bunch of other kids who were all going as punters just for the fun. So I was a poet sitting on a bus next to nobody. And then I got off the bus with my tent, set up my tent, got into my tent alone, got out of my tent alone, went for a drink alone. And it was quite lonely the first night. But then the next night, thank God, Ciarán was there.
Oh yeah, your friend.
And
yeah.
Kieran Raftery was there. So
yeah. Your friends came right. Yeah, that was much better than the festival being with friends.
Oh, 100%.
Go on.
And I was joking with myself that it's lonely at the top.
The touring.
It's difficult touring.
Yeah.
It's so lonely.
It wrecks your bones.
Hotel after hotel.
The open road.
Festival after festival.
Turn the page. That's the song. Turn the page. Even though, have you done touring actually?
No.
Let's be clear, lads, that none of us are touring poets. We dream about it though. The desperations of it. But how many festivals have you done since that Electric Picnic?
So I was in Electric Picnic a second time after that, and then I did the Dublin Fringe Festival. That was with yourself through Poetry Ireland.
That was great.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was 2019.
2019, yeah.
Yeah, we both submitted to that poetry event. They were looking for up and coming spoken word artists. Is that right? And I think it was yourself that told me to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to write an essay, submit two poems. One poem was kind of more performance, and the other poem was a poem on the page. And then we got into it, and we travelled first class on the train up to Dublin, and it was in Poetry Ireland, a beautiful, beautiful house. And I'm trying to remember who we were with. I'm terrible at names.
There was Bo Williams.
Oh, Bo. Yeah, I wonder where he is these days. He's fantastic.
Yeah, I think he's back in America. Trudy.
Trudy.
Forget her surname. Sam Yakura.
He's still around the place. Actually, I've seen his shows pop up every now and again.
Yeah, he was at the Slam 2 years ago or so.
Yeah.
And then Chrissy Kandiwa.
I'm just terrible at names, but yeah, she was a sweetheart.
And
well, then there was the person who was supposed to be
Bridget Minimore.
She was great.
Yeah,
she was great. I loved the way she
hosted us. She
hosted us, and she gave us workshops.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I have one memory where she gave us feedback on our performances, and I was doing my poem "The Moth Effect" on the stage just before the show, and she timed when I was supposed to quote, and she held up a hand every time I was supposed to say the next verse, and every time she put down the hand, I had to stop. And she was adapting to each of our performances and what was best, and I really liked that.
Oh, yeah, I remember my feedback when we were performing. I did a poem that I've done so many times, and I feel confident about it.
Okay.
But she was kind of like that poem. It's quite touching, but you seem like you're not vulnerable, and it seems a little like you're too strong. And she asked me to describe my bedroom, and it was completely out of pocket. Like, I was like, oh, okay. And then I was starting to describe it, and as I was doing it, it was kind of, I was losing that strength and just being more myself, coming back down, being more relatable, connectable. And then when I redid the poem, it was with another kind of level of vulnerability that people could connect with.
Is it because you performed it so many times?
I think I'd performed it so many times, and I was trying to do it with confidence. But there's a fine line with performing with confidence and then maybe with arrogance, and then you have to kind of also not be too confident and be a little vulnerable so that people can connect with you. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I do.
Yeah,
I do. Do you remember the member show up in Dublin? That was great.
Oh yeah, your poem absolutely killed me, and so it was
the Server
Hermit, and I can't tell you how much I laughed, because so you deliver the poem, and then there's the bit about, and then I plug a lilac VGA. I shove a
power cable up its backside. Whoa, the fan. So basically what I'm saying is, like, I'm plugging a power cable into the computer, but the way to describe it, I shove a power cable up its backside. Whoa, the panic sales. Go on.
Yeah, and I just remember the crowd absolutely dying, and seeing people like Felly Speaks. She was leaning up on the go-go heart, and she was just dying laughing, and it was...
I noticed.
You were in the middle of your performance, but everybody was dying. And I remember I couldn't stop thinking about it. Even when we got on to the next poet, I was still laughing to myself about shoving the power cable up its backside. And even the next day, got some food before the train home, and I had to take the poem out of my binder and read it again, and I was laughing in the restaurant.
But you know what, Jim? Me aside, 'cause I don't consider myself that much of a funny poet, but Jim, you had people laughing so much of your work. At the last Ovale, people were again couldn't. I remember watching one of my newest friends, and she couldn't even stand after your work. She was laughing so much. She was leaning on the door and stuff like that. Do you write poems for the intention of laughter, or does it just happen?
So I love to make people laugh,
Mm-hmm.
and I love to write things that make myself laugh. So I do it with a bit of an intention, but I don't feel like I'm desperately trying to make everyone laugh. Like I don't know. I don't know how to answer that, to be honest. Like I try to find humor in serious things, I think.
Oh yeah, and do you think that's good?
I do. I think it's brilliant because, like, I heard this quote once, and it was like, like, you know, when you're trying to get your point across,
Oh yeah.
seriousness fumbles at the handle, whereas laughter gets under the door.
Okay.
You know, so
That's cool.
if you kind of can get people laughing, they're more in receptive state to kind of whatever message you're giving. If it's about LGBT, rights or whatever,
Yeah.
if they're laughing, they're in a more receptive state than them being told you should believe this and you should be this way. I think laughter is a really powerful tool.
You got a poem that I think does that very well. It's the one with and you probably describe it better than me now, but it's the one where they have the
Straight pride.
straight pride, yes. And I remember one particular event you got it down just you done it so many times, it's always fantastic. But I think one time you had it timed perfectly, and everyone was laughing. Everyone's laughing about a straight parade, like we always have pride where people celebrate queerness, all the rainbow colors, but you had speculated a fun event where people celebrate straightness, and you had all the cliches of being straight and stuff. You could probably describe it better than myself there later on, but in the middle of the poem, with people just laughing at all your descriptions, but then in the middle you describe, you reach a heart of the poem where the iron bar bends of why this is weird, or why this, why we have pride parades in the first place. And just, I heard the room go quiet. And having that control and having that point being put across was amazing. And then you had one more joke at the end, and everyone just burst out laughing again. But it's like a roller coaster, like an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, I know, and I think that poem, if I kept it too light for the whole poem, I think I might have just made people laugh, but not really left them with anything important about gay pride and why we need it. And I do feel sometimes a bit guilty, like making the whole audience laugh, and then pushing them off a cliff with this real serious part. I'm not guilty, like worried, but it's it is a roller coaster for sure. And I do have to lift them back up a small bit at the end, because I don't want to leave people hanging, on a deep, dark part.
But that's well written.
Yeah,
really well written, because you understand people's emotions in the poem, and you think you're writing with intent, going, I know where this track is going on the roller coaster. You weren't writing blindly. You're thinking about the people who are going to read it.
Mm.
Am I right there?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You really were like thinking about the audience while writing that poem. Tell us a bit more about the poem, actually, in case people didn't know much about it. The
Yeah.
one about the queer straight parade.
So yeah, in 2016 in Boston, maybe it was 2016. I forget what year, but in Boston, the city council approved a straight pride parade, and it was kind of this right-wing group of people who were disingenuous about the fact that there's a gay pride parade. Why isn't there a straight pride parade? And I was just a bit annoyed about the idea of it, because the reason for gay pride is because people had to fight for their rights and fight for visibility.
Yeah.
And straight people have never been persecuted for being straight, so there's no reason for that to be a thing. Straight pride, it's not fought for, and there was no battle. So I think maybe I should do the poem. Should I do straight pride now?
That would be fantastic.
I think, yeah, it's
Let's
a
go for it.
good point to do it.
Yeah.
One sec there. I'm actually like, why am I checking my phone? I know it off by heart.
Do you want to do it off by heart?
I can.
Go for it, Jim. So yeah, it's a Jim with straight
pride.
Straight
and I'm
pride.
trying to imagine, what does a straight pride look like? Every shade of beige will be draped around Boston. Don't Stop Believing and Summer of '69 blaring from floats. Grown men dressed in Buzz Lightyear costumes. Straight women may leave their gay best friends in a playpen. All the colours of the rainbow blended into a terrible brown, and they'll wave that great brown flag around and shout their message aggressively. We're here, not queer. Get used to it. Vanilla ice cream. TED Talks on the missionary position. Female impersonators impersonated by females. Outdoor screenings of the Titanic. Goat yoga. Avocado toast. Every movie starring Tom Cruise. And khaki pants. LGBT activists will get accused of being Westboro Baptists for picketing the ghastly Pride parody with signs that read, "When was it illegal for men and women to get married? When did a straight person get jailed for being straight? When did a straight person get put to death for being straight? Oh, my poor repressed majority, how have you coped these last 10 years? Are you mad because we've taken rainbows away from My Little Pony?"
Jim, that was so hard to just listen. Just me being the audience. It was like I think a laughter escaped. So sorry, audience. Oh my god, that was great. But yeah, definitely the roller coaster was there as well. Ending in that note.
What I love about that poem is just the sassiness, and it's kind of acerbic, and it's got acid in it, and it's making fun of straight people in a really funny way. And I think being gay, like, you have a bit of that license to do that, and it's fun. It's fun to have a bit of license to be sarcastic or to be silly, and but I mean, thinking about being gay, like, I don't know, I guess I'm gay every day, and I wake up every day gay. I go to the shower gay. I brush my teeth gay.
Okay.
And I'm just gay all the time.
Well, you're just Jim all the time.
Jim all the time.
And that's who you are, and I guess in that way, very simple. That's pride.
Yeah.
Because it's not like pride. Now, in the broader sense of pride as well. You always be proud of who you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what poem you want to do next for us, Jim?
I think what I'll do is the one that you said went down really well in Ovale last week or last month.
Oh yeah, that's the new one, isn't it?
It's a new one, yeah.
You want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so it's about home sense, which I have described as where all of the excess of capitalism washes up onto the shelves and there are for sale signs. It's an interesting store. Have you ever gone into Home Sense?
No, I have not.
It's, TK Maxx?
Yeah.
It's like that's clothes and everything, but for furniture. And, the idea of TK Maxx is, it's designer things for less. So it's stuff that the designers have decided, okay, we're not going to try and sell it with a high price tag. We're going to just try and get rid of it. That's all besides the point anyway. I think it's just, it's a store that I love going to. And it kind of comments on capitalism and I'll just take you through the poem. And the weird stuff that's in there, because some of the ornaments and stuff are strange.
Look forward to it.
Anyway, so Home Sense. Among ornamental poodles and ceramic hamburgers, I find a hardback of Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. The fabric of the cloth-bound cover felt exquisite in my fingers. A big red sticker on the back, marked down to £5. As I read through the first few pages, I saw the author in the corner of my eye, holding a hot pink popsicle, destined for the home of a millennial manager who lost all sense of taste when they became mortgage approved. The absurdity of purchasing a salt shaker to express the self. The cold grey eye of the Kremlin, now blinded by excess. A stream of ghosts fall from the pages into a pool by the candles. I watch them whirl into a wailing carousel, knocking a tray of clay leopards. I think of my first retail job in Shoe, serving a Spanish student, hunting down a pair of Converse limited edition in giraffe skin. How I feigned delight as she showed me a photo on her iPhone 6. I said, sorry, we don't have those, tilting my head with sympathy. I counted the amount of hours I'd have to work to afford that phone. 26 weeks working on a 4-hour contract per week. And that would have been without spending a penny on food. A skeleton with cash in hand, dying on the floor of an Apple store. I am now a hungry ghost, wandering the aisles of Home Sense, with the power of my big boy salary, wearing empty soul Park Avenue drag. A lime green Buddha awaits its fate in the home of a hipster. It will watch his bun bounce up and down as he argues on the phone with his girlfriend about hammocks and polyamory. Buddha says if you see him on the road, you should kill him. Thank you.
Oh, Jim, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Oh, but the descriptions as well. Gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Gorgeous. You're a really good writer.
Oh, you're so
Good writer
sweet.
in so many flavors. As well as humorous, you have a richness that I so enjoy.
Oh, thank you. Have you heard that quote at the end about Buddha? If you meet him on the road, you should kill him.
It's actually
It's a quote.
It's an actual quote.
Yeah, it's from Buddhism. It's really from
Sounds
Buddhism.
very counter.
Yeah, so the idea is like when you meditate and you
Yeah.
try and be the Buddha, you're kind of being a false idol, we'll say.
Oh.
So the Buddha is saying like, I don't exist. You know, that you can't be me, and you can't become me. And if you see someone that resembles me, you should kill them because it's not a real thing. That's the,
I thought of so many different examples as you were speaking.
yeah, it's an interesting idea, isn't it?
Yeah, that's interesting metaphor.
Yeah.
Pretty cool metaphor. We were writing about. You were talking about writing exercises there earlier,
Yeah.
and I thought that for this show, Jim, myself, and all of you out there in the big open world, yeah,
Beautiful people.
beautiful people, you're all beautiful in so many beautiful ways. We're going to all do a writer's challenge, and I invite you all anyway. So yeah, today we're going to do egg phrases, and if you don't know what an egg phrase is, an egg phrase, an ekphrastic poem, is a vivid description of a work of art through the act of imagery, narrative, and reflection on the action of a painting, a photo, or sculpture. So that's a definition, but really what egg phrases are is that you take a photo or painting or anything that you see and you write about it. You write about it as a prompt, and it could be a great way of just taking one of the most powerful senses, which is sight, and putting that into words. And you can think beyond the frame of the picture. You could think who took the picture. You could think of the colors, the description, what you see, all the textures, what the characters are feeling in the picture. So stuff like that. It's a great prompt. And Jim and myself have both bought some photos or paintings or whatever. I don't know what Jim brought, so
It's a surprise.
he kept it from me. And sure, I picked out something there very quickly from my bookshelf, and they're real pictures. They're not something from our phone. I wanted that because we look at the phone so much. So maybe you can try an egg phrase, maybe from Jim and my own image, or maybe an image from yourself, but maybe off the phone. That'd be a great idea, because then that could be another little challenge you can have. But I'll put the pictures up on underneath the show, and you can look at them, and maybe you can write yourself. So Jim, what do you have for us today?
Well, what I've got for you today is a beautiful, moody picture from a Cork photographer, showing, I think it's Christie Ring Bridge or one of the nearby bridges, and it's really shadowed and full of street light, and it's a guy, Andre Jagjas. He's a photographer from Cork.
I love it. I love the white. I love the light, and I recognize it, but I don't.
It's actually near the shoe, I think. The top of St. Patrick's Street.
Yeah, I see
And
St. Patrick's
If
Bridge.
you
Yeah,
look across to the left, you can see McCurtain Street. Like,
yeah, take it there.
yeah, it's one of the bridges near, or maybe it's down near the event centre. I actually don't know where it is.
That it's very hard to know.
Yeah,
It's very hard to know, but what it does have is atmosphere.
Yeah.
What I have is what I chose out for you, because I think we're going to swap them. So I'm going to do this one.
Okay.
And Jim, if you don't mind me giving you this old gentleman right here.
okay. He reminds me of Van Gogh a little.
Yeah, it's like this guy. It's like a painting of this individual. He's kind of covered in foliage, isn't he? This
And he's
this
got a-
guy with a cap and
Smoking.
yeah.
He's got a tree growing out of his hat.
I just kicked it randomly out of collection, and I wonder, do we have the? Yeah, we do have it. It's called This Yard, and it's a painting by Laszlo Bajaki. And excuse me for my mispronunciation of his name, but yeah, and it's called This Yard, and it's a beautiful, beautiful painting, and yeah, so like we're going to swap art, and we're going to each write about it, and as we're writing, lads, and as you guys could be writing as well, I reached out to Brian Leach, who's a beautiful multi-instrumental artist that lives in Cork, and I asked him to send us an instrumental for us doing writing, and he came back to me with Jigs, McIlarney's, and Old John's. So it's a mixture of those songs. It's a trad song, and he's playing in the hammer dulcimer. And as we write, we're going to listen to that, because it's always good to write while listening to music, and having that in the background can be very can be great, atmospheric. What do you think of that, Jim?
Sounds amazing.
I can see you gazing at the painting.
Trying to soak up inspiration from him. See where I'll do with him.
Is it going to be a challenge? You're going to find it easy?
No, I don't know. I'm just absorbing. I'll definitely do it. I'm happy to work with it.
Yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, I'm going to play that song in there in a couple of minutes, and I can't wait to see we all cook up. One, two, three.
1, 2, 3.
We're still recording. Very good. Welcome back, lads. How's your journey into the photograph or the painting you were looking at? And you know what? Listening to Brian Leach hammer that hammer dulcimer, it really, for me anyway, added to that atmosphere. Jim, what do you think of that journey?
Same, yeah. I kind of felt medieval or something, like I was, at a fair, what do you call it? A banquet. Banquet with Celtic music and, bards, and just felt very communal and like from a bygone era or something.
Yeah, you're bringing the crafts back. That's what you're doing, Brian.
Revival.
You're reviving the crafts, and thank you so much, man. You're very talented. And your album is going to be shared down below, a beautiful collection of trad songs and more from your beautiful instrument that you made yourself, the hammer dulcimer. Brian, thank you so much for allowing us to use your music for writing and for creativity. Jim, how did you find that writing challenge? Tell us, how was your journey?
Well, my journey, I was looking at this guy with his hat on and his cigarette in his mouth, and
yes,
I was thinking of someone maybe recovering from illness and longing for kind of a return to the earth. And I don't know, I imagined him in a hospital window. And sometimes whenever, we were talking about earlier, when you're driving and you're in a more pensive state, you look at a hill and you just want to be part of the hill. All that down growth. There's a poem by Evan Boland where she just wants to immerse herself into the hill and become the hill, because it's wild and you just want to kind of that reconnection. So that's kind of where I went with the poem. An ill person wanting freedom from their body and wanting to be part of the earth.
Beautiful. Do you want to read it out to us?
Of course. Recovery. Send me deep into the growth, into the thicket of woods, marsh on my skin, lonely thing, at one with the world. The tender indifference of the world feels like a brother. At the tree is a black cat. With lithe limbs she sits under the winter sun. Lion's mane, apricot shoots, fungal spores. I bubble beneath the earth's core.
Jen, that's amazing. You've written that so well. Great word use.
Thank you so much. I went to see a film, L'étranger by Albert Camus, the philosopher, and there was a line in it that stuck with me for days. The tender indifference of the world feels like a brother.
And did you want to use that in a poem?
It just came to me when I was writing. It felt right to put it in.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's like you unintentionally were keeping that in a little mental box. And maybe that prompt got it out.
Yeah.
Maybe. So I don't know, is mine finished?
What's finished mean?
Yeah. True, but I think if you can always revisit these ideas and maybe rework them, and make sure you save your work as well. So yeah, I had these two people walking into the night, and I noticed these two people, one on the right one on the left actually has a crutch. She actually, it looks like a cane, but I think it's actually a crutch. That's what it looks like to me anyway. So I tried to write about, trying to write about these characters. And that's what you do with phrases, you write about the characters. And Jim, you did that too, and you did it brilliantly. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, it's called Good Night. We walk in and out of the night, you and I. I hear the clatter of your crutch, the click click. I have my hands in my pockets, trying to keep warm. The night is pitch, except for the light against the fog and vapour. On the way home, I reflect on the times that passes, and wondering, are you thinking anything similar? Anyways, at the bridge we part, and you cross, click click, and I walk the other way, and I turn, and I see you go into the dark.
Yeah, I love it. It's really good. I didn't notice the crutch, but it's interesting when you dig deep into a picture, the things you start seeing, and there's something about the mood in that photo. I just want to walk around in it, and it looks so moody and wintry and beautiful. It's present. And I think I try to reflect that in the poem. It's just that you're in the now, and it's just these two characters side by side, and going into the night. And yeah, you're right, there is something there, right? And you're also right about another thing, that once you start writing about the photo or the painting, you start seeing things that you wouldn't see otherwise. Because I only noticed the crutch or the walking stick,
I think it's a crutch, but you can make it into a walkie stick if you want to.
And the hands in the pocket.
The hands in the pocket, yeah.
To stay warm.
To stay warm, yeah. And it's these little things, and it's a great way to write. And you can just notice some of these little details you otherwise miss. You're staring deeply now into the picture now, Jim. You're going to fall into it now.
I am. I actually have that hanging in my bedroom.
Do you? Oh, yeah.
I have it on the wall, and I just love the feeling that art can give you whenever you connect with a particular piece. You don't even have to analyze it that much. You just love it, and it's there, and you can soak it in.
It's a great piece of inspiration. I love going to art galleries and soaking it all in. It's like eye candy. Candy for the eyes.
Can't wait for this Crawford to reopen.
I know, I miss the Crawford Art Gallery. I used to hide in there, and especially in the cinema room. It didn't get too tough. It was a nice place to get out of the hustle and bustle of the streets. But yeah, I'm excited too.
It is, and I remember I saw a documentary about it, and they describe it as a gift to the people, and it is.
It is, yeah.
Like whenever you don't want to spend money, whenever you don't want to do anything in particular, go to the Crawford, and you just walk around and soak it in.
Museums are great for that. Just go into the free museums. They're a gift, because then the art is yours too. Yeah. And that's it's amazing. It's amazing. Jim, thank you so much for being on the show. I learned so much about you, and it just makes me love you even more. And being a one-man audience to your work was great.
I feel like your private dancer. Thank you so much for having me on the Morebegsden. It's lovely being with you as well. Always love talking with you and connecting with you and exploring ideas. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Jim. Thank you so much, Jim. I feel so much warmth from that compliment. Lads, I think that's it from us. I can't wait to hear your poems based on those images or others. I bet you come up with some wild stuff and maybe got inspiration from some of the things we talked about today. So yeah, big wave up from the den, and we'll see you next time. Take care, lads. Bye-bye. Say bye, Jim.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.